Vincent Montano, you now can stare into the face of evil. And no, not because he took a hatchet to someone or sprayed mace at a couple ladies. That's not why he's evil. He's evil because he's a crisis actor. And he's still alive. He's allowing his image to be used to represent this shooter, which all he had was a pellet gun and a hatchet. Yet he was brought down by a police officer because he had a pellet gun. This is supposed to be his body up here. And it looks more to me, it's such a weird body bag. It's almost silky. If these are his feet, look how it would have to form this. And his head, his torso. It just doesn't look like there's a human body in there. If you saw that wheel down the street, your initial thoughts wouldn't be, there's a human body in there. You'd probably think, what are they transporting under that sheet? And this guy had a can of mace. And he sprayed mace. So they had to bring in these guys. These are the gas mask troopers. If there's ever mace sprayed anywhere, these guys will come in and shoot whoever sprayed that mace. And they are connected to the fire department. And even though these guys put their lives at risk every day, they're going to put more at risk by joining up with the gas mask squadron to take out people that mace people. And if you look at, this guy was shot, Vincent Montano. He was shot inside. The cops backed out. They backed away from him once they shot him because they were afraid of his pellet gun. Well, he was shot out here somewhere. And you assume, with all the police officers here, that he was shot, in this area. Because how far would he get? How far would Vincent Montano get if he comes out of here bleeding after he chopped up someone's arm and maced two ladies? He won't get very far. He gets shot here. Well, they've molested this area. These molested it. This car molested it. These people have cross-contaminated it. But in other pictures, you'll see that they leave this area blank, like it's supposed to be a pristine crime scene. Well, right now you can tell it's not. And you can't see any blood. There's no forensic people, medical examiners, no one to clean up the blood. There's nothing that illustrates that this man was shot out here. Nothing blocking anything from view, a horrific blood scene or crime scene. And here's his gun. You're supposed to believe this is his gun. Now, there's a lot of gun experts out there. I wonder if any of them know what kind of putty this is that he put on his gun. What type of melted putty is that? And, of course, he duct taped it. Even though it seems like it's perfectly fine and stable, he duct taped it. And this is for us to believe that he's crazy. The storyline, that he has got mental issues. Here's his gun. He puts black putty on it, or melts it, and he puts duct tape on it. You can tell he's crazy. And this is a pellet gun, remember. This is all it was. He was shot because he took shots at the officer. The officer should have recognized, oh, that's just a pellet gun. And then he should have gone up and clobbered him. He shouldn't have shot him, tased him. He shouldn't have done anything to this man. He should have seen this was a pellet gun, got shot a couple times, and gone up and clobbered the guy. There's not even a single reason to shoot him. None. Zero. 99.9% of the people in the world will look at this and say there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with this picture. This is after a shooting. Guess what? This is proof. This is proof this is a hoax. This is what they do at disaster drills. They have to have water for everybody. They have to have refreshments because they don't want anyone overheating at a mass casualty exercise. So they always have water, and here's to throw your water bottles in, and this is for something else, some sort of garbage. Who are these guys? Do you think these are police officers? Do you think this guy's a police officer in his black pants and red shirt, and this old guy with shorts? And this guy, do you believe that's a police officer? These are refreshment people. They're in charge of the refreshments. They came to this mass casualty exercise, and they are in charge. These three amigos are in charge of the water, and this, someone else will be able to recognize what this is. You know what that is, don't you? To me, it looks like an empty box of donuts. I'm sorry. I had to get that joke in. And now, how many different people are here? What type? Okay, let's just assume these people are with the police. So that's one force. This guy, he has khakis on. He's a different force. This is a police officer, police. This looks like perhaps a detective. These guys up here look like the SWAT team because they're wearing t-shirts and khakis. And this guy's wearing a regular shirt, so he's probably the SWAT team. Cop, police. And I'll show you this picture later in high resolution. But this is, I'll show you the high resolution version, but this is the version the newspapers put out and the websites. And we'll talk about this guy's face. There's something very familiar about this man's face I'll show you. But look at it. Can you recognize this guy? You will in a minute. Okay. Mass casualty exercise. Bomb squad. Because there's a suspicious backpack that this guy with the pellet gun had. It could be a bomb. So of course they asked the bomb squad, do you want to take part in our mass casualty exercise? Yep, we'll come. And they add the bomb to the scenario, the suspicious package to the scenario. And these guys, who are they? Were they dressed like this 20 minutes ago when they were called? And these are the same guys as the sniper in the last video. Totally different from the police force or the bomb squad or the SWAT team. I don't know how these guys are dressed totally different. Here's guys dressed different again. They wear khakis and red shirts. So they're a different force. And this is the bomb squad truck back here. And these are, I believe these are firemen. I don't know who these guys are. Firemen have blue shirts, dark blue, navy. But this guy, was this a Bowie knife strapped on for this mass casualty exercise? And look at his, he got long hair. Is this a cop? Looks like he has a beard almost. But that's the bomb squad truck that they're gathered around, but it's not the bomb squad because we know what the bomb squad dresses like. And low resolution. And who are these guys? This, I don't know what he would be in this mass casualty exercise if he's not a police officer or EMT. There's no EMTs at the scene. Look at this guy. He looks like he's dressed in a blue jumpsuit. So we don't know who those guys are. This guy's got this high-powered weapon out, even though this guy's dead. Situation's over, and this guy's got his weapon out. And this is what I want to show you, this guy. What's odd about this? This guy standing here. His pants blend into the street back here. It looks like this becomes a ghost image down there. And you can see it bleeds through. This dark line here bleeds through to there. This one bleeds through. And it looks like this one might bleed through. It looks like they inserted the background to create his pants, almost as a little trick. Now this guy has the same type pants, and he does, and his do blend in, but this guy blends in perfectly. I thought that's a little odd. That's pretty weird. And of course, again, this area is all molested, and it looks like they have something down here, a tarp or something, but they wouldn't be standing around it like that if that's where he's shot. How do you know that was water bottles in those coolers, like you say? I'm not sure. It could be beer. This isn't a very serious situation, so I think that's beer or water that he's carrying in that picture in this low-resolution image. Look at these are the gas crew. 9 minutes in. All right, I got to end this at 13, or they won't let me email it. They're putting these guys at risk, and they're putting them into this, inserting them into this team of the gas squad crew, and because someone sprayed mace in the theater. What if someone sprayed mace in a movie theater in your hometown, and these guys showed up? Would you not think maybe the world's ending? That's not a normal reaction, but it is. It is a normal reaction in a mass casualty exercise. They put the mace into the scenario to bring in and they got cameras on. Come on, to go get a bottle of mace, they put cameras on these guys, and this is just part of the scenario. That's why they added the mace, to bring in this crew so they could help with the exercise. Look at this. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms is there at this just routine police shooting. Alcohol, tobacco, firearms showed up, and he's standing back. Because you know what, he's just an observer. And this guy is who? He gets to wear a green shirt and go up with the police, so he's probably a detective. police. Look at all the different, look at this. What type of camera is this? Just stare at that. Stare at his arm and his foot. What the hell is going on there? Pardon my language. That's truly bizarre. That's like taking a picture of the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot, because that's how odd that is. That's equally as odd as taking a picture of a UFO with this picture right here, when the rest of the picture is normal. There's probably a little action going on in the scene. That's just plain weird. But you think it's not that weird? This guy's getting taken up to the USS Enterprise. This is what they're giving us. What's going on there? You know, I look at all these pictures, and there, like I said, that's the bomb squad truck, and it's all these different people. And remember, we saw the fireman putting the gurney back in the ambulance, because there's no EMTs here, there's no medical people here. And then you got all these SWAT team hanging around the bomb truck, and these aren't bomb squad guys. I identified what they look like, and this is great. He barely cut the guy in the arm with his hatchet. He barely cut him. They barely even reported it. And look at, there's blood dripping off it, and it's stained with blood, and it's dried, and it hasn't, of course, it hasn't oxygenated yet, turned dark, because it's probably fake. And even though it's dry, it hasn't darkened. It's the same color as this blood here, all this blood. This blood hasn't darkened at all, so it's fake blood. And this hatchet would not have received this much blood on it if it just swiped one guy's arm once. You wouldn't get this big bloody mess on a hatchet, and that is how you know this scenario is fake. And it looks like his gun. He's got this stuff all over it, and this is fake. No, you could whack 100,000 people in the arms with this hatchet, and it wouldn't get this much blood on it, because it's making that cut, and it's getting away from the arm, and no blood will accumulate on it like that. Crying out loud. This is great. I'm going to end it on this because it's so awesome. I talked about these license plates. Well, I found one that you can see. You can see this one. This is the same as the last video. They just blur it out. What's going on here? Can you see this license plate? 42 5. I can't tell you if that's a 5 or a S. I can tell you it's neither. I can tell you that's not either a 5 or an S, because they're not shaped like that. Kind of like a 9, but what does this say? S P W. Spy. That's spy, and it's photoshopped. There's no license plate. Look at this. Is that a W or a Y? But it looks like a Y to me because it spells spy. But everything's wrong with this. The dimensions and the perspective, whether this is a Y or a W or a 1, it's all messed up. And then, there's the spy plate. All right, if I see any more garbage with this case, I'll probably make one more video, but I mean, it's just ridiculous. There's all these different people here from all these different branches. It's a mass casualty exercise. It's what they do. It's how it operates.